really very privileged to introduce to you a friend of mine, a brilliant guy, a hard worker. He's been everywhere that I think is absolutely wonderful. I'd like to read you a little bit of a little information on Tom Jenny. For those of you who don't know Tom, I actually have met him in my NFIB days, National Federation of Independent Business. But Tom is now Arizona Director for Americans for Prosperity, formerly the Arizona Federation of Taxpayers. As Director of AFT in 2006, Tom helped to reduce state income and property taxes and helped lead the fight to pass Prop 207, the Private Property Rights Protection Act. In 2008, AFP Arizona, their actions led to the defeat of the time referendum, which would have imposed a 1-cent sales tax increase on the state. From 2004 to 2009, Tom oversaw the publication of the AFT Friend of the Taxpayer Legislative Scoreboard, which tells us how our congressmen are voting. And in 2009, Tom was honored to serve as the MC at the April 15th Tax Day Tea Party at the Arizona State Capitol, which attracted some 10,000 taxpayers. And then again at the Diablo Stadium, where I know some of us went to that event. The Diablo, there were about 7,000 people at that event. Tom is a Tucson native. I don't know how a conservative survives in Tucson, but Tom did. In 1988, he was a graduate of University High School. He earned an associate's degree from the New Mexico Military Institute and a bachelor's degree in Spanish and Latin American Studies from Georgetown University. He has worked for the Institute for Justice and the Cato Institute in Washington, D.C., and for the International Center for Pension Reform in Santiago, Chile. Tom gets around. From 2002 to 2004, he was Communications Director for the Goldwater Institute, one that's near and dear to our hearts. And he taught government and economics and Spanish at St. Paul's Preparatory Academy in Phoenix, and is a member of the Emmanuel Presbyterian Church in Phoenix also. I contact Tom. I send him more emails than I send all of you, and he answers them. So, Tom really is a special person. He's extremely active. He's out there fighting for all of us for less government, lower taxes, personal freedoms and responsibilities, and I am so pleased that Tom was able to come up tonight to talk to us about all of the ballot propositions. He's going to go through each one of them for us. We'll have plenty of time for questions and answers. Eric Stauber was not able to join us tonight. He is running the 106 campaign, but as you know, Eric and Bradley are very close friends, and Bradley's brother has just come home from Afghanistan. So I told Eric, don't worry, Tom will be able to cover that proposition for you too. So without any further ado, I would like to have all of us please welcome my friend and a friend of yours, Tom Jenny.
All right. It's always a big task to go through all the propositions, so I want to do triage on this thing. The most important thing, if I get hit by a meteor, you can get a hold, if I survive, you can get a hold of me. This, are we doing okay? Or you just want to grab yourself? All right. If I get hit by a meteor, if I get hit by a meteor and survive, the way you get a hold of me or my successor at AFP Arizona is the information's at the bottom of this piece of paper that has the it says Americans for Prosperity at the top of it. That's probably important. If you have any questions, if we don't have time to get to everything, you can shoot me an email or give me a call. That's usually important. The other thing that's going to be important is if you need walking lists, which we are doing. We're doing some micro-targeting to try to really identify people who are really on the fence and really need to be educated between now and November 2nd. We believe our organization never endorses or opposes any candidates for office, but we do believe it's extremely important that people know what is at stake between now and November and that they're informed. And speaking of that, you may have gotten one of these in the last few minutes. This door hanger. We are taking these around. We have different versions in different parts of the state. This one has to do with the record of Ms. Ann Kirkpatrick. You'll notice, for a lot of you, that the message on here is not striking or hardcore enough for you. That's because you are attending a Tea Party meeting on a weeknight. The kind of person who attends a Tea Party meeting on a weeknight is likely to be very squared away. You probably already know in depth what Ann Kirkpatrick has voted for, and now you've moved well beyond that to the next step, and the next step beyond that. And you're going to stop at the part where you grab your rifle, I hope. Please don't go to that step. But you're at one of those steps in between knowing what her record is and grabbing the rifle. And I hope we're going to stay there. What this is for your friends and neighbors, especially the ones who are not quite squared away, the ones who are on the fence. Notice that this does not tell you who to vote for. This just lays out the record of the incumbent question. This is important. A lot of your independent friends and neighbors, they don't want to be told who to vote for. They just want information. This is hugely important. You know who your friends are and neighbors are who are in your neighborhoods who might just need to get this put on their door, especially if you're out walking doing precincts anyway. We have a bunch more of these in the back. Please grab a bunch of them. If there's any left over, if there's 100 left over for Joy or 50 left over for Joy, that's okay. But please grab as many of these as you think you might need. This is good stuff for independents and moderates. Next thing, you've got your Yes on 106 information. I'm going to tell you a slightly more extended version of Vote Yes on 106. We don't endorse candidates, but we do endorse ballot measures. We've got several of these outside the door with stakes. And if you don't have stakes, hang around and get me to go out. I've got more in my car, in my truck. So, but we've got Yes on 106. These are easy. You just there's a big kind of upside down U shape. You stick them in the ground and slip this over it. And if you live in an HOA, you just need to cycle them. Usually HOAs have to let you at least have one sign in your yard, so you can kind of switch them out. So. And by the way, if you get hooked up with us with walking lists, I'm going to have a page soon of the Arizona Revised Statutes that actually make it so that HOAs must allow political canvassers and volunteers to come through. So, and down in Denton, we're going to be doing some canvassing this Saturday in Tucson and Scottsdale. We're going to have those for every single volunteer. If you want, I'll get you that as well. I can email it to you in PDF. So yeah, please get one of these if you're the kind of person, and I hope you all are, but the kind of person who's willing to put one of these in your yard. I had one more up here which I didn't bring, which is you've got the 113 pamphlet. We've got tons of Prop 113 slips right there. They're actually like paycheck inserts. So if you happen to be an employer, and you might sneak that into a paycheck this month. It's a great way to remind employees what's at stake with the worker freedom issue on the Saving Our Secret Ballot initiative. So that's huge. So anyway, that's what we got. We got the important stuff done. And then I'm also going to triage the ballot initiatives. The easy way, especially if you're a good fan of the people in the conservatives in the Arizona legislature, the rule of thumb, the basic rule, as you're walking through this, is most of the conservatives I know are probably going to vote yes on all of these. The one that is questionable is 203, the medical marijuana, and that's where you see a split between conservatives and libertarians. So that I think is the easy way to talk about that entire